Lock your targets with the camera client first movement, or you just start the fancy UI?
I just start fancy.
Oh, did you say that we're live, Rune? We're live! Welcome back to the commentator box. You're with Chimera and Moomin for match 2 of the Imperium Tournament, Season 2, Day 2, 2-2-2. Both teams are currently warping into the arena, so we'll be seeing them very shortly. While I start my...
Okay, I'll just run through like the list. On the red team at the moment, we've got the Initiative, and the Initiative are bringing a Fleet Typhoon, Legion, Navy Harbinger, Navy Brutix, Ishka, Jaguar Vengeance, and on the blue team we have Better Off Red, and they're bringing a Vindicator, Navy Brutix, Hugin, Demos, Magus, Thalia, and Deacon. So interesting choice on the Logi support there from Better Off Red.
So it looks like the Initiative really wanted to run this armor comp, otherwise they wouldn't have brought the Legion. But we saw the Tengu did a really good job of repping all of the things. So we're going to expect to see the Initiative team staying huddled nice and close together so that they can maximize their reps from that Legion, I guess. And do we think... Oh, okay, so this is really exciting. This is the first time we've seen the Thalia Deacon combo of the repping frigate. It's going to be really interesting to see how well they rep based on those frigate reps, but you do have both Logi frigates, so I think this will be a really interesting match. I'm just sorting out my UI again.
Yeah, that's okay. So who do you reckon is going to come away with the win this one then?
I really want to see Better Off Red win this one with their Logi. I think it'll be fun to see what happens. Obviously, the Logi frigates are not going to be able to rep as much individually as the cruiser, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure Salter still has done all of the work, like actually measuring this up. But we'll see.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go with the Initiative because they are our Imperium brethren.
I know, I'm a bit of a traitor on it.
Yeah, treacherous dog. Kind of knew that anyway. So the match is
Thanks,
off.
Moomin.
And there again, we're looking at like a really defense bar there from the Initiative team, but straight away it's like, you know, quite a lot
targeting
of
the Logi
being exerted from Better Off Red.
So Deacon taking a heap of damage. He may actually have a local rep as well as receiving the reps from the Thalia. These guys can basically tinker tank. This may actually turn out to be a new meta. Now swapping to the Magus, and it looks like the Navy Brutix of the Initiative team taking damage. Let's see how these reps actually hold. You know, like if Better Off Red can tank this, then it's going to be hilarious. That Brutix Navy issue taking tons of damage. I'm not sure what his tank is. We'll see. He's getting small amounts of armor reps, so.
Well, I'm having a look. Yeah, that Legion is a long way from.
Magus down for the Better Off Red team.
And that Navy Brutix looks like he's not going to be here much longer.
Yeah, he's down as well, so that's an interesting trade. It's 13 points for 6. Obviously, the Magus was probably the boosting ship for the Better Off Red team. The Navy Harbinger for the Initiative now taking damage. There's a bunch of damage on the field. Some of the tanks of different ships being tested. And Navy Harbinger still taking a bunch of damage. Legion just not keeping up with the reps by the look.
No, it doesn't look like it. But there again, you have a look at the Legion. He's only doing 8 at the moment, and webbed. So it's Better Off Red are actually applying control to like keep that Legion's reps out of it.
Harbinger Navy issue down as well.
Yeah.
Yep, and now they're switching to the Legion now. It's interesting to see that that was like a really quick switch by the Initiative early on in the match to go from hitting that Deacon, or was it the Thalia, switching from them when they realized that they couldn't do the damage. They moved straight onto other ships, took out that Magus, and then kept on moving. That Legion now going into structure, and that's going to be the Logi dying for the initiative team. There goes the Legion. He's down, so not looking great for the initiative team right now. There's like a ton of webs on the field, obviously from that Hugin. It's like an armor tanked Hugin with 4 webs in his mids.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just to do with the way that Better Off Red have actually applied control to like pull apart, in essence, you know, what was kind of like a Tinker team. I don't think it was like a true kind of like Tinker team. You know, it has been like really very well executed, and everything's webbed down now.
Yeah, I think that, you know, that Legion. I don't know. Looking at the fleet, I think they stayed together relatively well, but I think the Legion just didn't have the reps to overcome the actual amount of damage that was coming out of the other team. Mr. Diggs and the Typhoon fleet issue now into structure and dead. That's basically all of the DPS for the initiative team down, and it's really just a cleanup for Better Off Red. It's a great win by Better Off Red, I think. Obviously, we'll continue to watch to see if anything else happens. But
yeah, I mean, it's like this has been a very, very solid performance from Better Off Red. Absolutely no doubt at all. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see like how the chaps from the initiative actually like feel, you know, how that like fell apart for them. But you know, it has definitely fallen apart. You know, I mean, it's just exceptionally well executed from Better Off Red.
You know, I actually realized probably a lot of their power and ability to apply the DPS is going to be not just from the Hugin but from the Vindicator as well. But what the Hugin provides is if you stick like 2 webs on a Hugin, they can both web out to possibly out to 80 or 90 kilometers. And you can use the Hugin's webs to get the Vindicator on top of your target, and then the Vindicator can web down that target using the 90% web. Continue to deal the DPS while the Hugin switches to your next primary and, you know, starts webbing them down. So that's actually a really mean setup.
I'm looking at LD Spoof there, like hanging on valiantly. Is like they're not there anymore. They were webbed and target painted. Last ship on the grid for the initiative. Unfortunately, they were not able to win this one.
Yeah, that was a really. I'm not going to say it wasn't an exciting match, but I think it was a really technical match, and I think it was a fleet concept or fleet composition that was executed extremely well by Better Off Red, which gave them the win, and that's reflected in the points as well.
Exactly. I mean, it was like incredibly like strong win for them. They did absolutely everything right. I think it was probably a little ambitious of the initiative team to bring the kind of Legion as the logic component. I'm still not convinced that it's that good now. I think they've got like a drugs ban for this particular like tournament, and I think that it was only really viable when you could use drugs.
Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as viable as the Tengu, in my opinion. And it seems like the Tengu does quite a lot better than the Legion.